Me good?
Totally fine. Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. This is Marcy. Hi, Dan. All right.
Welcome to Tea Time with
Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky.
This is super recent.
Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. I missed you guys. I really did. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the special edition surprise Tea Time with Bunky on a Monday with my special. Is he
I'm,
special? He's
yeah,
just a
I'm not.
part of. He
Yeah, I'm not special. I'm not
no,
special.
we're shy. You are special because when I call you, you always answer me. So, it was one of those type of things. Um, to all my Tea Time with Bunky followers and subscribers, thank you all for tuning in. For those that are tuned in, and for those that will catch this after the fact, thank you so much. This the lynching of Robert Brooks. I mean, like, what a way to bring in the new year.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
It's crazy. And I was going to do it tomorrow, not realizing it was New Year's Eve. Didn't realize it was New Year's Eve. So, yeah. And I call it a lynching because it's a modern lynching. But before we get into that, shot, thank you again. And thank Lindy for me. Lindy, thank you
She's
for
tuning in.
always making and allowing your husband to be available. Hey, Vanessa, when I need him, because I called, I said, Shot, I need you. I, I said you're the calm to my storm, and I say that because I expected there to be a bunky storm. I did, but we'll get into that. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm ready to finish this year out. I'm ready to get into the new year. In the studio with the Rec Boys. Had some really dope things coming. We're switching up. I know all last year we were saying we're gonna switch up. We're gonna switch up,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to say about 90% sure that it's gonna be a different viewing experience.
Well, okay.
Definitely.
Well, I'm gonna be tuning in so I can bite off of y'all.
Oh no, absolutely. It's funny that you said that because I was talking to Chris before we got on, and I was like, "Yo, once we make this move, it's gonna be the move. Like a lot of people are gonna, because it only makes sense. But
Well, I've been copying off of y'all from the beginning. I'm not even gonna lie.
no, you haven't been copying. You've been taking what
No, I've
works,
been taking right. I've been taking little bits and pieces of what you guys do and
making it your own.
incorporating my own. So that's
Absolutely.
what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be watching y'all, and whatever y'all do, y'all just better not leave me hanging. That's all I have to say.
Nah, you in the loop.
Yeah,
You part of the family.
yeah, I'm a rec girl. Rec boy. I'm a rec
Absolutely.
girl. I'm a rec girl.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're here to let me start off. Let me start. I have to start off with this prayer again. I have to, and when I did it last time, I thought it was going to be a one time for Brandon Durham. I thought that was going to be it, but it's needed. Okay, so let me, once again, you guys, I got to start Tea Time with Bunky off with a prayer, a protection for people of color. It's a prayer protection for people of color. And it goes, Heavenly Father, we come before you once again seeking your divine protection over every person of color navigating this world in the end of 2024 and going into 2025. You are the God of justice, love, mercy, and we trust in your power to shield and guide us in times of adversity. Cover our lives with your strength, O Lord, as we face the challenges of inequality, prejudice, and systemic oppression. Surround us with your angels, keeping us safe from harm, danger, and hate. Lord, yes, hate. Where there is fear, fill us with courage. Where there is despair, still hope. And where there is division, pour out your peace. Grant wisdom and discernment to those advocating for change and equality. Equip them with tools to speak truth to power and dismantle systems of oppression. Give each of us the resilience to stand firm in our identities and the grace to love others and one another deeply, because we just don't seem to do that. We ask for healing over wounds inflicted by racism, both seen and unseen. Restore our communities, build bridges where division thrives, and let justice roll down like waters. May the dreams of our ancestors continue to inspire us, and may their sacrifices never be in vain. Finally, Lord, we pray for unity and understanding among all people. Let your light shine in every dark place, transforming hearts and opening eyes to your truth. May your love be our armor, your justice our foundation, and your peace our guide. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen and amen.
Amen.
Um, yeah, like I said, I didn't think I'd be especially doing this so soon after Brandon Durham, but we're here. We're here with Robert Brooks. We're here with Robert Brooks.
So, you want to give a little backstory, or?
Oh yeah, I can give backstory.
All right, well, let's go. Let's get into it.
Okay. First of all, to everybody, I wasn't watching the news since Tangerine went into office. Okay. I wasn't watching the news. So I don't know what was going on. I mean, like, I heard little bits and pieces, and my cousin called me. She was like, yo, you gotta do a tea time on Robert Brooks. I said, who is Robert Brooks? What? Okay, okay. She's telling me what's going on. I'm like, I heard a little bit. I'm not sure. Then when I found out that the incident happened at Marcy Correctional Facility, which is in Utica. The prison was right across the street from the school that my little cousins attended, which my cousin removed them, that they graduates now, out of the school because of the racism.
That's
So,
Oneida County, right?
yes, that's in Oneida County.
Gotcha.
Utica, 2.5, 3 hours away. So, okay, so Robert Brooks, okay, he was incarcerated as he should have been. Okay, so let's not get that twisted, people. He was found guilty of stabbing his girlfriend several times. Okay, so he was where he should have been, serving a 12-year sentence. So we're not gonna get that twisted and make him angel-like. We're not gonna do that. But what we're not gonna do is we're not going to sit idly by and let what happened to this man happen. I still can't find what went down that caused him to have to go to the infirmary, right? Still don't know what happened, what took place inside this prison. I'm watching Letitia James uploaded body cameras, because there was 14 people total involved in this lynching. I call it a lynching because they beat this man to death. When I say they beat this man to death, Shad. When I was looking at, did you watch all the videos? Did you watch
Nah.
all, and then okay, I was gonna take notes. I was just gonna take notes, right? Because I'm like, I can't do it. My heart can't take it. I can't do it. Someone said to me, no, Bunk, you need to watch them. You can't talk about it if you didn't watch them. So I'm pacing myself. Like, as I'm reading, they they punched them in the groin. Instantly, I went to, okay, this is some racist mess. Even though it's racist anyway. It's all 14 people involved were white men. This is one black man who wasn't even a big man. Okay, he wasn't even a big man. Let's put that out there. When I heard punch in the groins, I'm already thinking racial anyway, but that like solidified it for me. I instantly went back to all of the stereotypes, all the things from the past, the fear that white men have for black men, and they always go to their genitalia. So what you punch this man in his private parts for? He's tied up, I mean, handcuffed and everything. Shot. When I say I watched it, I think reading it, I cried more when I was taking notes. But when I watched how they beat this man, at one point, you see him yank him up, wiping blood from his mouth. And then this little, this little, um, correction KKK man, okay? Because that's what they are. They're the Klan, not wearing white. They're wearing correction officer uniforms. And everybody needs to go and they need to watch it. This little weasel wiping the blood off his. Now I'm getting angry because earlier I didn't know how I felt. Wiping the blood, stuffs the rag down his throat. I'm looking at this. I'm like, yo, what's going on? What's going on? And then there's this big officer. Like, who's this big goon? Right? That's the one that punched him in the genitalia. Like, who's this big doofus? This is what I'm thinking. That is Officer Allied. No, that's Officer Fisher. I believe that's Michael Fisher, the one that was the most brutal. Okay, they were all brutal. You see the nurse, little skinny weasel, laughing there. When I say they beat this man so bad, while I'm watching it, like I said, I didn't know how I was feeling. I was trying to process what I was seeing, what I was feeling, because at first I asked, well, was it as bad as the George Floyd when we watched them take his life? And I tell people my awakening came, my awareness, when I heard him call for his mothers. Now I'm getting emotional. They was like, no, it's 10 times worse. I'm like, God dog, how's it 10 times worse? So when you're watching the video, Rashad, you're watching them beat the life out of this man. And there's no audio because none of them technically had their cameras on. None of them had their cameras on. So what happened was this right here, Letitia James, thank God for her, they were able to get the standby of the camera. That's why there was no sound. When I'm watching it and like I can't cry, I can't get angry, I went back. My mind and somehow my spirit, something in me went back to our ancestors, right? I'm like, is this how the mothers, and I go back to mothers because I'm a mother. I have cousins this man's age. He's 43 years old. Is this how they felt when they watched their loved ones hanging from a tree and a bunch of white people are standing around it, cheering and taking pictures? And for people that don't know, these are on postcards. So it's documented. So did it become like so normalized to them that they didn't know how to feel? That's how I was feeling. Shot is so bad. And then people be like, well, Bunker, you shouldn't talk like this. Listen, there are a bunch. Someone posted on my page. She asked me, no, she made the comment. It's been something amount of days because he's from Rochester. Why aren't there any arrests? And there was a white woman that said it, and I thanked her for saying it. But it made me realize there was no arrest because they had double privilege. They were white men and they're in uniform. Like my whole body is numb. I don't know. I'm doing a lot of talking. I need to know how you feel because, like, I'm angry. I'm sad. I'm broken. I'm afraid. I'm, I'm really afraid. It's like you don't. Who do you trust? Who? True, this
Um,
man should have been locked up. He should have been. But if those cameras didn't come out, that footage didn't come out. First of all, I don't know why them devils are walking the earth. I don't know why they're not locked up. All 14 of them, the 12 correction officers, and those little two weasel nurses. I'm sorry, go ahead. I had to get a bigger cup of tea today. I need it.
I want to first start off by saying that it was totally wrong. There's nothing that anybody could say, do, justify any of what took place. Totally wrong. It goes against the rules of law. It goes against the rules of morality. In my case, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, there's two things you don't do. You don't fight somebody with their hands behind their back with a disadvantage, and you don't shoot nobody in the back. That's like the most cowardice things you could possibly do.
Mhm.
So I'm not jacking any of that. Am I surprised? I'm surprised that he actually died, that they beat him to death. But like I told you last night when we were talking about it, there's probably somebody getting beat right now in corrections. Dominic said this is what happens when people think we be bugging or
Wait, where's he at?
overreacting.
Where's Dominic?
Oh, I don't know. I see it somewhere on one of the feeds that I'm on. But he says bugging or overreacting to how these punk COs really be treating us. People always say do the crime, do the time for them to kill us. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. We got Tamisha, Jada. Tamisha said, I'm never surprised anymore ever. It's sad that this
I'm
has
not
become the
seeing
norm.
none of this.
I don't
I'm
know.
not
They might. I did share it, so they might be watching it on my
okay.
stream.
Yeah, I'm
Damn.
like, I was
But
trying to
listen, if
gather
you guys are
and,
tuned in, go to Bunky's screen so we can go to Tea Time with
and
Bunky on
share
the
it.
page,
Mhm.
share
Yeah,
it, and join the conversation there so we can put the comments on screen,
yeah,
and
because I
then that
can't, I
way
can't see
everybody
anything.
can see it. But it's crazy because seeing it from, yeah, he said this is my chat, so it was on mine. So hopefully they'll join in on yours. I
Okay,
shared it to my
time
page
about.
too.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I was trying to get myself together.
but I've seen it from the inside. I've seen it where I want to say 5, 6 inmates away from being called next.
Next,
Yeah.
like in what? Like
Well, next into where you take your round of beating. Like, I don't want to make it seem like that, but when you're incarcerated and
mhm.
you do certain things, there's a squad that runs
Yeah,
around.
there is. There's a special squad, right?
And I can walk myself squad, and we gave them that name because normally when they come,
Mhm.
the inmate is saying, I can walk myself. I can walk.
Right.
I don't,
I
but
don't
they're,
need your assistance. I
yeah,
don't. Yeah.
no, but they're being
Right.
carried. And,
Right.
Bunky, like I said, this happens to like every day. Every day. There's situations to where you could definitely be in that situation. Have I ever seen anybody pass from that? No. I fortunately, and I thank God, normally they rough you up and they take you to the box, and then
But
from the
yeah,
box.
they didn't kill him in front of everybody. They took him to the infirmary and killed him.
Well, but even then, like, they don't kill you. Like, that's not the point. Is to beat you up. They're gonna throw you in a box. You're not gonna have any visits. They're gonna
Have your
give you
family
some
visit.
run around. They're
Go
gonna
right
give
home.
their family some run
Mhm.
around, and then what ends up happening is, um, by the time they do see you, you're healed, or they say whatever accident happened are
Right.
self-inflicted wounds.
And but let me also only because I got to do this no matter how angry I get because I have family in all of these little genres in every little pocket of this and with the police and corrections sometimes like all inmates aren't it,
Angels.
right and they don't know they going in there to go to work sometimes they don't know if they're coming home. So let's give a shout out to the good officers in every field because everybody that know me know I am pro law enforcement.
Police. Pro police.
Hello,
I'm
I am.
calling the po. Tell them.
But you know what? Now, am I calling them? I don't. I don't know. I don't know if
Really?
I'm calling. No, really, really, and it's not as it's not that I'm against them. I mean, if I can call the police and request certain officers, hello, I need a police, but only send so and so. But you can't do that. Um, when the correctioners correction officers go in and get locked up because they're locked up for that certain amount of time. Some of
Absolutely.
them are going there to do their job. Not everybody's out there to wreak havoc. But when you watch these 4 videos that were put out, they had little snippets and then they had the full. I watched the full videos. When you look at their faces, when you look at those devils' faces, because they're nothing but Klan. And I can say it, this is Tea Time with Bunky. This is my platform. And I think that everybody of color or whatever, they need to stand up and say something, stop being a coward and stop just worrying about, let me just try to appease the people and make a dollar and make everybody happy. No, this is where all difficult conversations are had. Tea Time with Bunky. This is the place. And I'm going to say it. My opinion. These are
Absolutely.
Bunky's opinions. These are my feelings. And I feel that on my platform, I'm going to tell you how I feel.
As you
I
should.
feel that they murdered that man and they didn't care nothing about it. It was funny to them. Just like I said, it made me somehow, I don't know, ancestrally connect to my forefathers who were enslaved or not enslaved that were hung from trees. And it was like I was there and I'm watching my loved one get murdered and there's nothing I can do. That's how I felt with this man who rightfully should have been in jail.
All right, let me
Right?
ask you this. Let me ask you this. Uh,
Yes.
when you heard about this, or have you ever heard about any stories like this?
It's hard because, wait, one apple doesn't spoil. It doesn't. You lose it. I have no trust for any of them. I have no, well, not any of them. That's not true.
Yeah, no, no. So this is what I'm saying. You don't think that this was you didn't
No,
realize that
I
this was
never.
happening.
No, that's the thing. When I said I really didn't get an awakening until the George Floyd thing, I always knew it was happening. But in my mind's eye, I was so far removed from it. Even though I had family members that were incarcerated and I would hear stories. But my innocent mind, because you know I'm so, I didn't connect it. Like, oh, that wouldn't happen. No, they had to have done something. They stuff like that just don't happen. In my mind, until I watched them kill George Floyd. And I heard, even when I was watching that, I was still like in disbelief until he called out to all the black mothers when he called for his mother. And that right there changed the whole dynamics of my life. Like the way I see things, the way I respond to things. And it it totally changed me. It really, really did. Now that changed how I viewed the police. Now this changed how I view correction officers.
Um,
This
I
is
can
me.
no. I'm gonna tell you. I'm pretty sure. You said there was 14, right? There was
Yeah.
14
Oh, okay. Let,
officers.
let me. Let me Officer, we gonna name these Klansmen. We got Matthew Gillagher, Nicholas Anazoline Lone. It was his video that showed them carrying him into the infirmary with his hand. I mean, the way it
Hog
was
tied.
his
Yeah,
video
yeah.
that showed him going in. Okay, so you
Got
got
you.
him, you got David Kinsley, you got Nicholas Kiefer, you got Robert Kessler, you got Michael Fisher, you got Christopher Warrath, you have Michael. No, it's Analog whose video that you saw. You had Shea Scholf, David Waltzer, Anthony Farina. Then you had Sergeant Michael Mashow, Sergeant Glenn Tromboli, and then they just got the one nurse, Kyle Dashaw. Need to say their names. So when you see their names, you know who these cowards are. They're the kind that's gonna fight you with the gang. They're a gang. You don't hear them being called gangs and thugs and that's exactly what they are. That's what they are.
How many prisons are in New York State? You
Beats
know?
me. I have no idea.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna
But
look it up.
we all know why they were corrupt.
No, no, but this is what I'm saying, Bunky. How many? This is 14 people in one prison.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find out how many prisons in New York State. Um, how often do you think this happens?
Every day.
All right,
But as far as a death, I don't know if it's a death every day, but Like you sent me the one article.
Yeah, the one guy is was charged. There's 44 prisons
Uh
in New
huh.
York State, right?
Okay.
14 times 44. Let me get out my calculator. Let's
Yeah,
do
because
some
you know I don't know.
math.
My,
No, but
my,
I'm just saying, no. But I mean, let's figure this out because think about it. There's 14. There was 14 right here. So all right, 14,
well,
there's
no, that was
44.
13 and
All
one
right.
nurse.
All right, whatever. 14 employees altogether.
Okay. Okay.
That's 616 people altogether throughout New York State if you only had 14,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Do you think that's it?
No.
All
No.
right. So now that we know, okay, we know that this is going on,
Yeah.
where do we go from here?
You know, I
Because this can't be another George Floyd to where, we march for the summer and
is
then
it
it's
even a George Floyd? I haven't seen the outrage.
well,
Is
I
it
mean, think about it.
has
Just
it become
it
so
happened.
normalized? Has it become so normalized? 42.
Yeah, there's 42. Well, I got it right here. They said as of April 2024. So, yeah, because they closed Sullivan and they closed somebody else. So, she's right.
Okay.
It does say 42 prisons. All
Okay.
right, 42 prisons.
Okay.
Now, if we only have 14 in
Right.
each prison,
Right.
that's still over 600 people who feel and might move. 14 out of what a jail probably has on the payroll and staff is light. Just think about it. And they felt freely to do this. The video
Yo.
didn't come out until what, 2 weeks later?
Yeah, because the timestamp of Along's
Was on the
video
ninth, right?
is on the ninth.
Yeah. So
The
I
9th.
mean, like, and this is my thing. Like, don't get it twisted.
And
People
they home. They not locked up.
well, I mean, this is another part of the system. This
Yeah.
is this is deeper than what happened to Mr. Brooks. This is way deeper than that. It's really about the system in its whole entirety. Like I said,
And
I've been in situations to where, get against the wall. Somebody might look and, you know, they get hit a couple times. I know in downstate, this was their thing. Downstate, they got a lot of people from Rikers. And for
mhm.
some reason, once you pass the Tappan Zee Bridge, everybody thinks that people from New York are like these monstrous people. So they used to get the bus loads of guys who came from the island, and then would be local guys from the counties, here and there, and we'll all be in there together. You hear the police say that, yo, when they come in, we're getting at least three random, just to let it be
Everybody else know.
known that this is the hierarchy. This is how this works. This isn't old. This is probably just as old as slavery. The
Well, it was
thing
created
is,
for that reason. We know that though. It was
yeah, yeah,
created
yeah,
and people like, don't get me wrong, don't do the crime, don't do the time.
absolutely.
But some crimes don't fit. Some people are locked up that shouldn't be locked up. And there are some people that are walking the street that should be underneath the jail.
Well, it's a system, and we've all indulged in the system. Chris says it's always innocent until proven guilty, depending on who you are. Sad, but true. Um, Absolutely, and it's funny that Chris is tuned in. Chris, go to Bunky's page.
I'm like, I don't even see Chris.
Yeah, go to Bunky's page. Um, it's crazy because we were talking about it earlier, and I'm like, so how do you feel about it? And he was
Yeah, how
like,
does he
yo,
feel about
dude.
it?
He was like, yo, it's totally wrong. Chris he feels just as like how you feel.
Right.
And, like I said, I literally watched it. Like I've never seen where I've been, I've never heard of an inmate dying by the
Thank you.
hands of officers in the jails that where I was at
Okay, because I'm like, I've heard you now.
while I've been
Okay, you
there.
said that you've never heard of it. You never heard of it.
No.
Now,
I've never been in. No, I've heard of
okay,
course, but I've never been in a situation. I've been in a lot of different jails.
I'm on both because
Um,
all of the comments are on shop.
shout out to my cousin. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's like I said, I've been in the Lions Den. I've seen it. I've
Mhm.
almost come close. I've by the grace of God, I wasn't put into those situations.
It's horrible, and no
Situations.
one in Utica is doing anything about it. You
I
know
know
what?
that's another thing. They should be outside. Not, I wouldn't say it's a small town. It's
No,
go
that
ahead, go ahead,
God,
go ahead, go ahead.
because Missy, no, that's my cousin Missy. Shout out to Missy, the one who told me I need to do this. She's from Utica, right? I'm scared to go to Utica. I ain't even gonna lie. Everybody know I don't go to Utica. I'm scared of Utica. I don't mess with Utica. But there was an incident. I don't know if you remember a couple of months ago. This young Asian boy was killed by the police. Remember? You remember
Mm-hmm.
that?
Mm-hmm.
And they were out there marching. They was in the streets, but they quiet as a church mouse.
Ah,
Is it?
but go ahead, go ahead.
Is
Why
it
do you think it is?
because? Is it because? Is it because he's black and they're black? Because recently, her daughter's friend, 19 years old, may she rest in peace, was killed at a. It's not small, and no one speaks up about things like this, right? She was killed at a candlelight visual. I believe it was a candlelight visual. Yo, Utica is crazy. Candlelight visual. There was nothing. There was no more. There was no outrage. There was nothing. That's why in that prayer, it kind of mentions us being for us. And I said we're not for us. We're so messed up from. We still have that slave mentality, that divide, that division. I feel. I'm telling you, Shad. It's like I felt all of the trauma.
Nah,
No, Shad. Nope. Nope.
nah,
Nope.
I'm
Nope.
not. I'm not fully jacking that. Only
Yo, listen.
because. All
I
right, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
I feel that way. Who is messaging me right now? I feel that way because Black Americans, Black people, we fought for everybody. We fight for everybody, right? Are we not marching for everything and everybody? We are. Okay. We're gonna be on the Native American side because their land and everything was stolen from them. They were killed. We're gonna be on their side. We're gonna march with them. We're gonna have their backs, right? You don't really hear too much about what's going on with them today, right? But we know it's still a jacked up situation. The Jews, we gonna fight with them. Yo, we going against Hitler and his crew because the Holocaust, we going for them. But the Holocaust, when did that, was that the 50s?
It was World War II. That's
Okay.
the reason why they
So it was
fought
around
World War
that
II.
time. And they're still dealing with some anti-Semitism or whatever. They're dealing with whatever they're dealing with, right? Black people, we were stolen from our country. Some came over voluntarily, but majority of us got here from being stolen from the
Some of
white
us was
man.
here though. Some of us
That's it.
was
Okay,
all.
not,
Yeah,
not
some
all.
of
I
us
said
were
not
here.
all of us. Not all,
Yeah.
but most of us. We were stolen. We're gonna call it out what it is. We were stolen by the European white man, brought over here. Some of our own people sold us over here because they jacked up because everybody's out for themselves. The women were brutalized. The men were brutalized. Since we were brought here, Shad, they're trying to erase our history. Black people, if they're not looking into it, they don't know that it's just a recycle repeating. So they still always after each other. Like everybody, listen, because it hit me today watching this. Like I said about the Native Americans, about the Jewish people, or whatever. They had an end date. We don't have an end date. We don't have an end date. Our suffering, our suffering, black people that's naturally born with the melanin, not the ones that are laying in the sun, not the one that's spray tan and looking like leather, not the ones putting lotion on. Now, black people, we don't have an end date. That right there showed it. Orange Tangerine Man said that it was going to continue. So it's like, yo, let us look out for ourselves. As long as we don't go against, we're good. we're good. That's why I'm like, black people don't look out for it. They didn't march for that young little girl. They didn't march for her. They're
They're
not
not
marching.
marching for dude, but
Yeah,
that
I
has
said
to
they're not
be.
marching for him.
But why you think they not marching?
Why do I think? I think it's
Yeah.
because one, it's so normal, becoming normalized, and I
Okay.
don't know if it's because he really is a felon, but that still doesn't give anybody the right to do it. But the
He
normalization.
brutally no, let's call it what it is. He brutally murdered. So well,
No, he didn't murder
assaulted.
her.
No, he
Oh yeah,
assaulted her.
let me tell you, he should have got more than 12 years. If you ask me, you know
What
I'm all
what, what do you
about.
think he should have got? What do you think should have been a just punishment for that?
He assaulted. He stabbed up his girlfriend.
In the abdomen multiple times. As I hear the clock ticking. I hope that's the clock, it's not your brain. I hope that's the clock,
No,
Bunky.
that's my clock.
I hope I'm not hearing your thoughts,
So my
Bunky.
son said that. Boy, you got some loud clocks.
But you
Oh,
get what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
I
what's the
no.
just punishment?
I mean, I'm never.
I just want to know, just off the head, because I can tell you a just punishment if he would have stabbed one of mine.
But you see, and see, and I
Ah,
look at
nope,
it.
nope,
No, no,
nope,
no,
nope,
no.
nope. Okay,
You know why I look at that different?
okay, let's
Because
go.
like if it was one of mine, like you said, you going for him, you going after him, right? But he wasn't one of theirs. He when you look at that video, when you look at the videos, that wasn't that. That
Oh no, no,
wasn't
no,
that.
no, no, no. I'm not. We're not saying that. What I'm saying is, what Tamisha say? Oh,
Wait,
I
wait.
can't.
Let's
All right.
leave the media quick, like all the other prison deaths. Yes, this is why Attica riots happen to bring light to all of the unfair treatment around the board. Utica is rough. Yeah, lived there for a few years, and I've seen many situations that scarred me for life. The cops there are reckless as a whole. They're jokes. The cops there are jokes. Utica picks and chooses who they march for. Our men are dying in prisons by officers and on the streets by officers.
Well,
You know,
listen. I'm gonna tell y'all straight jacket, and
straight
listen.
jacket.
I straight jacket. That way, I'm not crazy. And if you think what I'm saying is crazy, you might need a straight jacket.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
if you would have violated one of mine,
Right.
I don't care what they do to you. This is just me. Like I don't
Oh,
listen.
okay. So now I get what you mean. Now I get what you mean. Okay,
I
because at
don't.
first,
I'm not saying that it's right. What I'm
no, now
saying
I
is,
wasn't understanding what you mean.
I wouldn't care.
And
I wouldn't give you an opinion about how I feel about the situation. Had you now, I don't know that this is the situation. What I do know is a few things. I know that within the last like 10 years, Department of Corrections have made a few changes
you
to
can't
where.
part. They weren't doing that for her justice. They weren't doing
Oh
it. They
no, 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 no! Absolutely.
oh,
Well,
thank you.
see, wait, hold on. We don't know the backstory because, like, let me finish. Nowadays, when you commit a crime,
Right.
they bring you to a jail that you committed the crime in that area.
Well, yeah, he was from
That
Rochester.
way, yeah, that way it's closer for your family to come visit you.
Right.
This is something that they changed. When I was incarcerated in the 90s, they did the opposite. They moved you as far as ways from the county that you committed your crime in, and as you got closer to home, they brought you closer to your
Right.
facility. Yeah, now it doesn't work like that. Now they try to bring you from the beginning of your time closer to home so that you can still have your family ties, you got kids. It's
Now,
not a
is that
strain.
state or is that federal?
No,
Because
this
I
is state.
learned.
No, this is in state. Federal, they
Okay,
can
I'm
put
like
you
I
wherever they
learned.
want to. No, no, federal is across the United States. In New York
Right.
State, it's within New York State. You can only be locked up in New York State if you committed your crime in New York State.
Okay.
You get what I'm
So
saying? So now, when he committed this crime,
right
he committed it in Oneida
in
County.
Oneida County.
We So far, we don't know who this girl was. We don't
No.
know if any of these people are her relative. We don't know if they're in laws. We do know Oneida is a small knit county, and we
Bunch
do
of
know, and we do.
Klansmen.
Yeah, all right. So even so, what's
They
the
are.
probability? What's the probability of somebody who works at one of these jails are affiliated to the person, the victim of his crime? I'm just gonna give you a
And no,
scenario
that's the
because
real of it. No, that's the
I,
real. I hear you. I totally hear you. If it was my relative, right, that was assaulted by this dude,
yep,
right, I probably wouldn't care what happened to him. You know what I'm saying? If, from the outside looking in, like, yo, you hurt mine, I'm hurting yours, like that.
eye for an
But
eye.
when you watch the video though, shot, there was a part in the video I still don't understand what that was about, because they yanked him up and he was already limp, right? They yanked him up and they, like, when you mentioned the wall, that's what it reminded me of. And they had him facing the wall. Now, mind you, he couldn't stand, he couldn't do anything. And the officers was like over him. They weren't hitting him, but I don't know what they were doing to him. He's already limp and out of it. Then they yank him back up and they put him back on the bed. Um, and then he's next thing you know, he's just in his underwear, and that's when you see them move his hands. And at this point, you can tell he's gone. At this point, you can tell he's gone. If it was a family member, if it was a family member or a close friend, even a close friend of the family, and they was like, "Yo, he's in there, get dude, whatever." It didn't take all of them. There were, at one point, I think I counted 9 officers in that small room. At one point, I think I counted 9 inside the room, and there was some outside of the room. Um, there was one. They were all in uniform. One had on like a hoodie zip up thing, and shot. Like, when you see him laying there, the way he knuckle grip, I guess it's the knuckle grip, him in his stomach, and then haul off and just straight clock this dude. They didn't. The humane part of me was like, and maybe it's just me. I'm like, you know what? That's just evil. God's gonna, they're gonna have to, he's gonna have to answer to God. They're gonna have to answer to God. Um, I don't know. I still don't know. Just watching that, I don't know. That's why I wanted to make it clear that, okay, I'm not for. He need to be locked up. He was a criminal. He should have been. But when you go to prison, they get you. They do. But he shouldn't have got like that. Nobody, unless it's directly an inmate against inmate. You know what I'm saying? Not correction officer against
Yeah, but
inmate.
even all right. See, I'm glad you said that. Even if it's inmate versus inmate, how do you think those situations happen?
The correction officers turn their head. They tell them,
So
"Yo, so and so's coming in."
what's the difference? One, they put in their own work. The other one, they're so coward that they want something to happen to the prisoner, but they're not man enough to do it themselves. So they get another inmate to
Of
do it.
course, they're not.
So
They're
all right.
being
So all right.
tested.
Okay, I'm gonna switch it up. I
Okay,
don't know if you've been in Sullivan County for a while. Do you
54
remember?
years.
Okay, do you remember the situation where the little boy died? His name was
Yeah.
Timmy, and the parents were putting ashes out on the kid,
Oh yeah, they
and
did. And when they went to jail, they got beat down because the correction
every day.
officers.
No, no, no. Listen, I was in there. I was in there when
Yeah.
with dude and his wife. Now check it out.
Yeah.
They had dude separated. He was
Mm-hmm.
playing the crazy role, but he had a whole tier to himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, plenty of officers that were working in Sullivan County Jail at that time. There were probably a few people that you knew were in there during that time.
Yeah.
Anybody who
Regardless of
was
the time he committed, he was just serving his time, and there was no justification at all.
No, no, I'm not saying, and she's right. I'm not. Listen, Department of Corrections, they are supposed to protect you.
Protect and serve. They
Yeah,
take it over.
yeah,
Take it
they,
over.
you are their responsibility.
Yes, you
There's
are.
no, there's, there's no reason for them to do what they did. I'm not saying that, or justifying
Yeah, no.
why they did it. It shouldn't have
Right.
never happened. The
Especially
reality,
how comfortable they were doing it. So it
yeah,
shows that they've done it more
but
before.
if you believe that this only happens to black people who are
No,
locked up, you're
no.
like ask, and we probably have some people in this viewing. Ask any of those relatives that got those shameful charges. See how they get treated in prison, not by only
And
the
we know
inmate.
the shameful charges. Because
Yeah,
when
no,
you mentioned the little boy, right, the little boy who was taken, I remember seeing when
he was
they
all over
took
the paper. He was
when
all
they
over. They had them
no,
on the front
when
page
they
of the paper.
took him out of jail and that eye was blacked out and yo, they beat him. And you know what I think? Because I don't know. Thank God. Thank you, Lord. I've never been. Thank God. I've never.
Calm down. You know too many cops. You ain't going to jail. Cut
Okay,
out.
but and plus I don't break the law, but that matters because it does. But it's like they have what this dude and his wife or whoever the baby's mom, and y'all know what we're saying without saying it, did. You have inmates and officers who have kids that age or nieces or whatever. So they see them and like, how dare you do that? So we get ready, yo, you're going to feel what that child felt. But this man, the worst part I'm reading, the worst part of his beating was 2 minutes after entering, right after entering. But it went on for like 10 minutes. I think it went on for like 10 minutes. It happened to
And
what's
and
Brown.
he came he came from another jail with injuries.
And and I was looking up everywhere, like trying to find out why, number one, was he transferred? Why was he beat up that he had to go to the infirmary? And those pictures, because I'm looking at the video and I'm like, this don't look like no regular hospital to me. This looked like prison. And apparently all of that we saw was at the prison infirmary.
Yeah.
What happened?
I mean,
That's the question.
well, see, and because
Until
we
we
don't,
stand up as, wait, until we stand up like a whole as black people, stand for something and not act fake woke. Yeah, this is the type of stuff that's going to keep on going on. The prisons out in the
is out the
prisons,
prison.
out the prisons, until we kill the hate they instill in each of us. Hello, that's what I'm saying. For each other, we're going to stay out. We're always going to be remain our worst enemy because the hate in us, which is right across the street, she's talking about, okay, the infirmary is right across the street from the prison. The hate within us that was instilled in us as we were stolen from our, and people can't say, well, Bunky, you're not from another country. Okay, I was born in Monticello. Okay, I was born but my DNA is from, I am a mixture of every from Europe on down. So my ancestors were brought here. Grandma Peterson ain't come here voluntarily. That's my great grandmother. They ain't come. I know her mother ain't come here voluntarily. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? We hate ourselves. We hate ourselves. So we're not going
we
to
have
help.
to we have to figure out. Let's get everything in. Let's get everything in because he came
Okay.
from another jail.
Okay.
9 times if you come from another jail, there's a problem.
But he
Whether
had already served, maybe, but he had already served, I think, 7 to 8 years of his sentence. So was he transferred? Was he transferred because he was getting ready to be stepped down? Because this was a mid,
it's a possibility.
yeah. So this was a medium security state prison that he was in, right? So that's what I didn't. think that maybe, I mean, it
No,
could
they're
have been.
both mediums, but the different jails have different programs. So you may go start off in this jail because this jail
Yeah,
has
but the
this
prison
program.
he was in is right across the street from the prison he was transferred to and killed. But why was he transferred? Like, that's the thing. Like, what
Yeah. So
did
now
the
we don't know, but
we don't know.
there's I've been in situations where I've seen inmates who were there for 1 to 3s throw human feces at the officer who's just there to do his 8
And
hours of
and
shift.
that's, and like I said, when I said in the beginning, when those officers go to work, right? Because my heart goes out to the officers. You know me. When they go to work, they're go most of them, the ones that I know. How about that? The ones that I know go to work with the intention on doing their job, going home to their family and retiring, collecting that pension so they have health insurance and all. That's what they do. They go to work. Some are beneficial to these to the inmates. Some of these inmates are horrible and need to be there for life and never come out. Personally, that's my opinion. Some of them, not all, some of them. So you can't take it out on all the officers. All the officers aren't there to jack you up. All the inmates aren't there to jack you up, but you have some miserable inmates. You have some miserable correction officers, and they jive together, and that's why this whole storm is happening with the police departments, with the corrections, and probably at the border. Those, whether they the border patrol people, it's like it's so much that it makes people like me that was so trusting of law enforcement afraid to call them if I'm in need. I'm scared to call you unless I can give specific directive. No, I need you to send my son, and if I'll wait. I'll wait until you can send him, or I need you to
But
send
what
him.
if you can't wait?
No,
What
no,
if
but
you
I'm
can't
just
wait?
saying that's the thing. So what do I do?
Well,
I say
what do you do?
try and
It's
call on the Lord because there's nothing I can do. I don't
what
call,
well,
and I
you
can't even
gotta
say that
commit.
about Fallsburg police. Even though I don't trust them right now, I think they're a bunch of cowards because you don't even see them on the street. But I don't see stuff like this happening. I don't know. I don't trust them because they ain't even give Simi a card. I still got a problem with that. He retired after 32 years. They ain't even give that black chief a card. Okay, the way they did him, but this ain't about him. I don't trust the badge
Yeah,
anymore.
and you shouldn't because the whole system, like criminals are criminals. We
Yeah,
understand that, and
yeah,
we're not gonna say that there's. I've been locked up with some of the worst people ever. Like these people, some of the people that I've been locked up with, you wish the police would beat them up because guess what they're doing? They're terror. No, I'm telling you
yeah.
facts,
They're
Bunky.
little menaces
They're
to society.
no, dude. They're terrorizing other inmates. They're stealing their food. They're stealing their package stuff that their hard earned their family worked for
Wait,
to
I missed it.
bring. Go ahead.
Misha heard exactly this. If he needed discipline for something he's currently done, find a punishment. That's it.
No, absolutely. But I mean, Tamisha, at the same time, if somebody throws shit at you, and excuse my language,
Right.
and you got it, and that
And
person,
still don't say you need to get the
nah,
gang and
no, no,
no,
no,
no,
no, no.
no,
Hold on,
no,
hold
no
on,
shot. No,
hold
get
on.
him. No, no,
No,
no.
hold on.
No.
No, 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 Bunky.
All right.
You can't say how I react is right or wrong.
U.S. civilians getting the back of emotion. But this is their job. Yes. They need to
Absolutely.
be held accountable even more.
They took an oath.
Right. What they did didn't look like a get back. Nope. It looked like
We
too comfortable to them. Yes, they were. Like they do this all the time. Yes, they do. How they moved in unity. Yes, they did. So disgusting. It was murder 14, not for shut the whole place down. Um, yeah, your wife. That's your
nah,
wife.
yeah, we done already spoke about this. But listen, I said, Bunky, if somebody slaps you, you may say, okay, I'm calling
No,
the
but
cops.
Sean, no, no, no,
Somebody
no.
slaps me. No. Somebody slaps me. I'm gonna be the cop, the judge, and the jury all in
But
one shot.
listen, but
So now,
listen,
go
but
ahead.
listen, Sean, that's one on one. That's one of like, yo, you slap my dog, I'm gonna slap your cat. No, listen. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, if I call the police, Brandon Durham, if I call the police, Sonia Massey, if I'm locked up, Even a Robert Brooks, who's a criminal. These people who have those uniforms on and those badges that went through academies and everything. They went through all this sort of training, right? You would you shouldn't have to hope and pray that the people, even though I may treat them like dirt on the inside, I'm trained to put up with it. Listen, my job, right? I'm in the field with people. I've always, my whole career, I work with people with some sort of disability, illness. I've been called every word you can think of. I've had this one dude waited for me to come in the room and throw a whole full urinal at me. Okay, I've had mess thrown at me, and I had to stop my you ready to? But dude, I was like, yo, such and such, go get him. Send the other. No, you don't, because you're hired for that. You know, anything can happen, Sean.
Absolutely.
This is your job. If you aren't tough enough, if you can't handle it, then get out of that field, because
Absolutely.
they are locked up for a reason. And so you're gonna be more savagey.
No, 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 no. What I'm saying, no, no, no. So now
I'm
when
talking about
no,
being
no, no,
savage.
no. I'm trying to figure this out. So because I signed up for a job that more likely, is dangerous. Let's take a
Right,
cop for an
right.
example. When you're a cop, you
Not
take
even
the
just a
oath.
cop. Not even just
No, no,
because
no, no,
I'm
no, no.
not.
I like the cops. I like the cops because
Okay,
you
okay.
chose to do this. You went to the
Right,
academy. You endured all this stuff.
right.
You're trained to you go to work knowing
Any prison.
that there's a
Right.
possibility that you might not come home today.
Sean,
Right? No, no, no,
listen.
no. Because I never want to be a cop or that, because I know that there's that possibility. There's people out there who don't take that can be cops,
Right.
but chose not to do this as their profession because
Hmm.
they don't like what goes with it. A fat guy's not gonna want to be a gym teacher. I'm just saying. Right. So somebody who's scared to shoot a gun isn't gonna want to become a cop.
But listen,
So now, when
okay.
you sign up for everything that comes with that.
Very part of all this is some of them going to law enforcement strictly to exercise their authority. Exactly, they're
Absolutely,
bulletproof badges.
absolutely, absolutely. So
And
now they're
something against them.
already getting in there from for a bad reason. So
Yeah,
now,
but
what do you think?
those are the bad officers. Those are the bad officers. Now, like I said, with any job, like
Okay.
with any job, and I talk about my job because I can only talk about what I do. I wasn't trained. I wasn't trained to go into the field in people's houses with weapons, and like I wasn't properly prepared for this when I worked for county. Okay, I went to one house, come to find out there was weapons all over the place. Okay, anything could have happened to me.
What did you do once you found out that what you went into wasn't what you signed up for? What decision did you make the following day? Did you quit?
No,
So then you made a conscious decision to say, "Yo, I'm gonna go back to something that I didn't sign
no,
up
because
for."
I didn't have to go to that house every day. It wasn't.
All right,
Wasn't.
I know, no, but there's a possibility that you could have got another client where it could have been even worse,
I,
and you
I
decided to
had.
stay.
I had,
And
and
you
you know
decided to
why I
stay.
do what I do. But let me tell you, why I do what I do. Just like same reason you do what you do. You love what you do. Our goal, your goal is to help people look better, feel better. They talk out their problems in that barber chair, right? Right when people come in your chair, like you're dealing with some of everything
No,
in that
I
barber.
deal with it, but that's not why I got into it. That's
No,
part of the
okay.
perks that I have to deal with.
But
So
most
now, if I
people,
don't like it, I can say, "Yo, I'm not with hearing everybody's problems all the time. Let me find another profession."
but but like with my job, I've always, you see the type of person I am. I've always been that person that want to help somebody. Like, yo, that person must be having a bad day. Do I want to yoke them up? Absolutely. But it's only in that moment. The next week, me and that person gonna be good because now we don't establish a relationship. Now I know you. Now I know you. You know me. I'm not going to quit what I do, which is in the helping human services field, because at the end of the day, if I can help, just like I'm sure a correction officer, if somebody comes in, right? They come in, they all hard. I'm sure you've seen they come in, they all hard. You don't know their background, you don't know their story. But this one officer connects with them, right? The one officer connects with them and changes their whole life. That's why I do what I do without weapon protection or back. True, I had to go to a couple of places, but I had to call the police. Look, I'm getting ready to go into this situation. I need backup. I need somebody to come with me because I'm 5 foot, 100 some pounds. I can't do it by myself. But I never quit my job or was like, no, let somebody else do it. Because I love what I went into it for the love of it. You have correction officers, you have police officers, you have security guards who love what they do. And it's not fair that
I don't.
these,
Do you know any correctional officers that love being correctional officers?
when they started, they did.
No, that love. What do they love about counting criminals? Because
But
that's all
that's
you
not
are.
all they do. But
That's
shut
exactly what they do.
no,
What
but
do
listen,
they do? Bunky, what do COs do? Anybody that's tuned in has a
they
CO.
babysit.
So what is that? Bunky, they count. They make sure that when they start their shift. Yeah, I think
Very no,
yes,
okay,
we
I read
read
that
that
one.
one.
Um, okay, they're
Let's see what she
communicating.
said. All right.
Chris, if
If
it's
it's me or them, it's always them. But in the same token, when I take the position, I knew I was hired to protect, not hurt, unless that force was needed. Key word force that is needed. These officers are abusing the badge.
former
Absolutely.
correction officer, right
But
there.
listen, ask Chris. Chris, I'm gonna ask you a question. Did you get into corrections to correct behavior, criminal behavior? And if so, what tools or how much training or schooling did you have to go through to become a corrections officer so that you can help correct?
6 months.
All right, but okay,
Correction
Bunky, how all right, how long did it take you to get your degree?
officer.
This is what
Years.
I'm trying to tell you. And they're going in dealing with people who have more issues than what you have. Than you
No,
have to
they're
deal
like the
with.
same people. They're just a
All
little
right,
worse.
so even all right, you just said it. They're a little worse. How
Yeah.
how long did it take? How long is your schooling for your degree? Not how long did it take you, but how long does it take to get a degree for that?
6 to 7 years.
They're training these people in 6 months. And listen what it's called. It's called the Department of
Yeah.
Corrections.
New
I
people
got
need
in
it.
because I knew people needed a second chance like I got. There was no schooling for me. I was doing it because I knew it had to be a change I wanted. So
Right.
you
Be
all right,
who you
hold on.
should be.
Okay,
See,
hold on. Why did you get out of corrections, Chris? Now you just said you wanted to make a change.
right.
The change was the thing that because you got tired of seeing everybody else in there and trying to help.
And you know
Or
what?
Chris, how many officers did you see that were literally helping people so that they don't return back? It's recidivism. The money's in recidivism. They
Yes.
don't get paid if they cure everybody that goes to prison. Everybody that
Right.
goes to prison
Not gonna get
doesn't
paid.
return, doesn't return to prison. Guess what? There will be very little prisons. It's
I,
not it's not in their being. It's not in their best for criminals to not return. So
no.
that's why they give you the bare minimum. If you guys are tuned in and been to prison, tell the people tuned in how great the programs are so that when you get home you can jump back into society. Tell the people that's tuned in how many officers have helped you with a situation that you're going through with because your baby mom won't let you speak to your daughter, or that some real stuff that you might need to go through. 90% of the officers, they're there to do
That's
counts.
our job.
They're no, they're there for the count. They're there to make sure that by when they
They're
start
there
their
for a
shift, there's a
check.
certain amount of no. I mean, there's job security. They got to feed their family. They have to
Right.
feed. So
Exactly.
there's not a lot of people who are going into corrections because they want to help the people that are in corrections.
I mean, like, I know a lot of people, I know a few people that left corrections because black men that said that they left because they couldn't stand seeing more men in there that look like them that shouldn't be there. So
Okay.
that's a reason I've heard. I got out because I was fighting my demands. I also knew I was outnumbered. It was the good old boy system in that county. Yes. And you know what? I was going to mention the good old boys, but see, there's
Wait,
nothing
wait,
good
wait.
about
Hold
the
on,
good
hold on.
old.
See. This is where it gets tricky. Because
What?
if you're there to help change the narrative, you're there
There's
to
only
help.
but so much. There's only but so much you can take. I've had this conversation with a correction officer. I said, okay, let's say you were there when that happened, right? You were there when that happened to Mr. Brooks. What would you have done that moment? Would
You
you
know what
have
they're gonna tell
joined
you?
in?
No, I know exactly what they're gonna tell you. They're gonna tell you they would have sat back and chilled because guess
No,
what?
they
They're
would have.
outnumbered. No, they're outnumbered. In Oneida, the black guy is
Oh
outnumbered.
yeah, definitely
So
in
so
Oneida.
so what do you? All
There
right.
was
So
no
so
black.
so this, but this is what I'm saying. Why you think there's not no black people? Because they already done chased them out.
Because
This is
yeah,
what I'm saying. So now when you get in there, for me to feed my family and have a good job in Oneida County, I probably have to be a corrections officer. To make 83, 84, $85,000 a year,
and they
I
all
probably have to.
everybody. No, you know what? All of them made over 100,000 last
All
year.
right. So now think about
They
it.
all
If
made over
I now
100.
think about it. Think about it. I'm not going to jail. I don't have nothing to do with this. I
I know.
walk in and there's 14 of my coworkers beating somebody up, and I know if I say something, I may not make it home to my family, and I'm only here to make sure that I have college tuition for my son and that I have a pension to retire. Guess what? 90% of those colored officers that work up there are doing. They're turning around. You know why? Because they are next. There's nobody. Do you know what they do to officers who go against other officers? They treat you worse than the criminals.
And you know what?
So what?
And that's the problem. And
Yeah,
that
no, that
right
is the
there,
problem.
that's the problem. They
That's
need,
the problem.
and
Is
we
that
know
we're not
it's not going to
attacking.
be. We know it's not going to be revamped because we already know what dude said he was going to allow to happen when he came in.
Dude, it's
So
the blue line. It's no different. It's the code of silence, dude. You may think about it. Your son. I love your son to death, right?
there are a lot of officers who left because of what it does mentally. Exactly, they
Absolutely.
go in with the right intentions, and when
Exactly.
and you. But the thing about it is, Sean, I was going to be a correction officer.
You
I
wouldn't
made
have
it
worked.
all the
It
way.
wouldn't have worked.
Huh?
So it wouldn't have worked.
You know who? My brother-in-law and my father. Eddie was a counselor in the prison. My father was a retired lieutenant. They told me, I mean, like I made it up like I'm in Albany doing the stuff. They was like, no, you are not cut out for this. You will not survive it. So I didn't do it. And now sitting back watching it, yeah, they would have ate me
Chris,
alive.
let me ask you, Chris. He said if COs turn or feel they can't trust a fellow CO, they done. Absolutely. Ask Chris this. Um, they tell you that if you go against them, it's up. It's all the way up. Think about it.
Okay. Okay. All right. So all that stuff with the correction officers, what they feel. I mean, like, okay, so they need to do their homework before they go into it. At the end of the day, what do you think needs to happen to these dudes? I
They
think
all
personally,
need to go to jail. Me
I think they all
personally,
need life.
no, you do. You know what I think they should happen? This is the reverse side of it.
And
This
put
is
them
how
in
I feel about.
general
No,
population.
no, bury them to their necks and let the town stone them to death. Yeah, listen, they
Why?
literally no. Why not? Why not? There's no use for people like that. When you have that much hate in
Yeah.
your heart, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna rehabilitate somebody like this? When you have that much, like we got, I get it. Morality, nobody can take a life. I get all that. Not those words, Shy, but you know what it is by what you see. I mean,
Yeah.
me personally, me personally, there's no sense. There's no use. There's
There's
no
no
use for
use.
rapists.
They're
There's no use for rapists. There's no use for baby touchers. Like, what are you going to contribute to society if you
Nothing.
have a sickness to do some of these things? Get rid of them. Take them off the count. Now, people say, "Yo, that's unhumane. You playing God. Let them go through the justice system."
Some
You
people
know
are
what happens?
just
No,
a waste. They're just
no,
a
no,
waste.
listen, but think
Right?
about it. You got a guy. I was locked up. They wanted to give me 4 to 8 for an armed robbery. Yeah, it was an armed robbery. I tied some people up. No. Listen, my very first one. No, listen. I would no, listen.
I tied some people up.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm just
You
keeping it
ain't kill
raw.
nobody.
I didn't kill nobody, but guess what? The guy who went, they were adamant of giving me 4 to 8. First time ever having the handcuffs on me.
Oh God.
The guy who went to court before me broke up 2 arms and dislocated both legs of a baby. You know how much freaking time they gave him? 6 months.
Was he white?
It doesn't matter. It
No,
would
no,
have
no,
been
no, 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 no.
no. I'm not even gonna do that.
You're
You
not
know
gonna
why?
answer.
No.
You're
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
tell you.
answer.
No. He was white. But
Yes, he
listen,
was.
no. But check it out.
In Sullivan County.
Check it out. It doesn't matter. White, yellow, green, whatever. If
No, yes,
you
it
do
does.
a sexual heinous act, you get less time than somebody who did something like me. Now, granted, granted. Now, check it. This was in '97, right?
Okay.
It's 2024, right?
Okay.
I work for myself. I employ other people, which means I make sure other people's family are fed. I bounce back from that.
Right.
When you deal with people who do certain things, there is no bouncing back.
There's no
We have a guy, you know the guy. He's in Liberty. He's every other time he gets out, he's getting locked up for messing with little boys.
I know him.
He's a regular. I forgot the guy's name, but he's a regular in Liberty. And yo, listen, he gets out and he does the same thing. He gets rearrested for having a social media, trying to meet up with little boys.
Why is he released?
This is what I'm trying to tell you. The system is broken. System is broken. So now, go ahead.
Still has no bearing on Robert.
What? No. I'm saying this is what I'm saying. Would there be an outrage? Would there be an outrage if it happened to that guy?
What guy?
The guy that I keep telling you that keeps getting locked up and keep getting out. No, for setting up different social media accounts so that he could go and meet with little boys.
You know what?
Like, let's keep it a buck, my man.
No, I know.
He set up.
I'm thinking.
I'm telling you what. Listen, if you trap my little boy off, you ain't even got to worry about the judge. And if you make it past,
it is okay because, but that's not.
And if you make it past the police, and you no, hold on, I'm not finished. And if you make it past the police, 9 times out of 10, you probably gonna be locked up in Woodburn or Walk Hill. Do you know how many people's hair I cut that are COs? I'm just telling you what it is, Bunky. I'm just telling you that part about it.
Because again,
absolutely. But check this out.
If I can do it, you can do it.
What's that?
I want you to go
and watch the video.
James's page.
Okay, and watch the video.
All 4 of them, not the snippet ones. There's like little snippet
Bunky,
ones.
Bunky, I seen that shit in real life. The guy just didn't die. I witnessed police. I witnessed 6 police hold a guy down while another police yank out his dreads. Like, are you kidding me? I don't witness. Yeah, dude, Bunky. Listen. I've been to Attica. I've been to Clinton. I've been to Comstock. I've been to Wyoming. I've been to Orleans. I feel like you keep justifying what happened. No, I'm not. I'm not. No. I'm not. No. What I'm saying is we don't know the whole. We don't know the whole gist. We don't know now listen, Bunky. Do you believe that there hasn't been a white guy that's been killed in Oneida by officers? And nobody's heard about it?
I don't know.
I mean, think about Bunky.
I'm talking about in prisons, period.
All right, prison. All right, whatever. Bunky, they found bodies. Yeah. Do you know they found, remember a couple years ago when the people escaped from Clinton?
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
That same jail where the people escaped from, when they built a new gym, they found like 15 bodies buried under the gym. Do you think they were all black?
Wait, what?
Yeah, go look it up. Clinton, when they built the new gym, they found skeleton remains
Oh, that was
underneath.
definitely from the corrections
All right,
people.
but no, what I'm saying is, do you think they were all black?
No, 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 no. Shot is actually speaking fact.
He
And just
and
you
he's
know,
an officer. He's an
well, no,
officer.
he's not an officer. He's a
He's
counselor.
a counselor. But I
So
mean,
he
this
knows.
shit,
He sees it. He sees it. He sees it.
no, I get it. I get that what his story is. No, listen. I'm gonna tell you straight jacket. I know
Straight
this
jacket.
isn't. Yeah, it's not his story, but violate one of mine, I'm gonna put the bag on you.
But
I'm
and
I'm
I get
I'm gonna
that.
put the bag on you. So now
I
whatever happens, however they get to you,
the only
no way
way.
you can suck it up. Even with all these strong feelings, knowing that there probably will be no justice and knowing that there's definitely a special place in hell.
Every
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
you know what I wish for these officers and these nurses. I wish this, and I don't wish this on anybody ever. I mean, like I said, I was feeling some feelings I never thought I'd ever feel. But I pray every time they close their eyes, even to blink, that they see his bloody face. Every time, because we couldn't hear the audio, every time there's silence, when you get ready to go to bed or whatever, every time there's silence, I pray they hear his voice.
Bunky.
Every time.
You seen the
And
video,
that goes
right?
for any any murdered victim, any
Absolutely.
lynching. That was a 2024 lynching, point blank period.
Bunky, did they look like they were new to what was going on?
No. This was not new. Listen, they knew not to turn their cameras on. When
Hold
you
on.
watch the full video, you see
I,
them cover.
I sent you an
Certain,
article, right?
huh?
I sent you an article before we started the show, right?
Yeah.
In that article, one of the officers that were one of the 14 in this is
Mhm.
part of a lawsuit that happened in
Two of them.
2020.
There's two
Two
of
of
them.
them. So
Two of
now
them.
this is what and guess what?
What
Guess
they
what,
do?
fellas? No. Hold on. Everybody sit down and brace yourself. Bunky has the article if she wants you to see it, but check it out.
Exactly.
The guy that they beat up, Bunky,
Right.
the guy that they beat up was what
Yeah.
color? What color was he? He was white.
Was he? Because I'm like,
Look, go
and then
scroll
he said he
through.
thought he was gonna die.
He said he thought he was white.
He
He
thought he
was
was gonna.
white. This is what I'm trying to tell you, dude. It's not, and I get
And
it.
but I think the horrific part of it is that we saw it. It
Yeah,
should
but
have. It should have. Doesn't matter. Black, white, purple, green, orange, yellow,
it's a
camouflage,
violation.
whatever.
Yeah,
It should have never have happened in
absolutely,
a facility. But we know what it
absolutely.
is.
So
Like
now that we know that this
that
happens
it
regularly,
happens
what's the
regularly.
next step? What's the next steps?
Just say I get that, but I'm specifically talking about Robert and what happened to him. I don't feel like anyone deserves that at all. They have families out here as well. They do, but you know what? On the flip side, the girl that he stabbed in the
No, her
stomach,
family is saying that's karma. Her family is sitting there saying that's karma.
they're saying that's karma.
They're saying that's karma because guess what I'm gonna say if it
Gotta
happened to
beat
me.
around the bush. He's talking about a selective outrage. Now,
No,
Jesse doing something.
no. Listen. Well, it might be, but
That's the
listen.
million dollar. Well,
Um,
Jesse will be on the show, and we can
and
have that
we should
conversation.
have had Jesse on the show tonight because
He's
we
gonna
could have
be
went back and forth because
probably good.
we need a convict which they're not even allowed to say no more. They're not.
You can't call them convicts.
They stopped being called convicts in the 90s. Now
So
they
what are
can't
they
even.
called?
They
Inmates?
were they were inmates,
Criminals?
and now they're something else now.
They're
But this is what
criminals.
I'm trying to tell you, dude. Not Bunky. I did 6 months in the box for a dirty urine. Now you can cut
Illegal.
somebody. Listen, no, this was in jail. But listen, now you can cut somebody, and guess how much time you're gonna do in the box?
I don't know.
14 days.
They call them incarcerated.
Individuals, and tell them why you can't call them inmates.
It's shocking to those who never been in prison. This is everyday habit. It is
Absolutely,
shocking.
absolutely. So now it may seem like I'm desensitized. It may seem like
A little bit.
but not. It might seem that way, but I'm gonna keep it a buck all the way through. No, it shouldn't have happened. I hate seeing that. I hate knowing that it happens. But I've been in situations where I've seen the police get the right guy. And when I mean the right
Right.
guy, guess what he's doing? He's stealing people's stuff out of their lockers when they're not there.
Well, when
He's
you commit a crime, then just yeah. But that right. What happened? They need to get out. What happened that caused that? Now,
yeah,
to the
absolutely.
young lady's family that he assaulted, absolutely, it's karma for them. Like, yo, you got yours, whatever. That's for their family. I get that. I'm not taking nothing away from that. He was a criminal. He was locked up where he should have been, but he did not deserve that. You don't. Who are you to make that decision?
I mean,
And
he was the one who made the decision to poke Shorty up. She
but
probably didn't deserve it either.
But when you see the hate in their eyes, shot, they were, I don't care. I don't care. It's Oneida County. They're a bunch of
No,
racists.
we need
Now I
we
really
need the
can't go there.
video.
I
We
really can't
well
go there.
see
Pull me over and be
no
like,
listen.
you saw the hate in their face. They were nothing but the Klansmen in a uniform. That's all they were. In the modern day, that's what it is. The
I get
Klan
that.
is just wearing modern day uniforms where you
I'm not
don't know, you can't tell them apart, where they could walk on the street and you don't even know you standing by the head man. You don't even
they
know.
live. They live. You need the special glasses. They live. No, I mean it's NY State attempt to humanize the incarcerated due to the stigma attached to them.
What
I yeah.
stigma? They're inmates. They're criminals.
See, now
I've never been in prison, but this is not the first time I've heard of this happening. So it's not shocking. I'm just tired of hearing about it and now seeing it.
yo,
And I
she
think
lives. That's your cousin that lives there. That's your cousin
yeah,
that
she
lives up
lives
there.
in Utah. Yo,
Was she there? Where was was there outrage when the girl
said it
got
wasn't.
stabbed? No, when the girl got stabbed, when dude caught the case.
Did that no. That happened. He's from Rochester.
Okay, so wherever it happened, was there outrage? That's what I want to know because it goes back on the other end now because you got people saying, "Yo, listen."
Yes, well, and they enjoy Missy. Let me tell you, they was in
Absolutely.
that
I'm
room with
not
that
saying that they
man
not.
laughing. They were in that room laughing as this was going on. I saw it, especially the big
Listen.
bald guy. He
Well,
sat there, no lie. He stood up there, he was the biggest one in there, adjusted himself, right? Made a facial expression. Then, like how boxers like get ready to, I guess they re-gear up or whatever they do. He did that, then went back in on. I was like, yo,
they're
that's
cowards.
what I'm like. Everybody, like, if I can watch it, anybody can watch it. And it's gonna give you you're gonna see what the energy was in that room and the fear that this man had to been going through, because you see him a few times talking, saying something. You see it, and they'll say something, yank him up, and start again. Boom, 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 boom. So I don't know what was going on. No, because he lives in Rochester. I don't know what was going on.
Well, I want to know if there was outrage in Rochester. I was looking for the actual write up of what he got charged with, why he took the plea deal, and was there outrage? I mean, not to justify anything, but I'm the type of person that I don't want to step in the way of somebody's karma. I don't want to be the bearer of the karma. You get what I'm saying? You do something to me, I would rather it just come back to you, but we're emotional creatures. And at a certain point, like I said, you violate mine, it's up. I don't care who you are.
Wait.
What does it say?
Because I Google what was Robert Brooks' original charge in Rochester.
Okay.
And it says Robert L. Brooks was a 43-year-old inmate serving a 12-year sentence in 2017 for stabbing a woman a series of times in the upper torso with a knife, right?
Mm-hmm.
And subsequently took a plea deal to eliminate the second-degree murder charge and obtain only guilty for a crime of assault in the first degree.
So she died. Yo, listen, I'm just gonna tell you straight jacket. Listen, you stab up somebody, a female in my family.
No, that's
and
karma.
You get locked up.
It was karma.
And I have the ability to put the word out on you. I wouldn't give a damn what you said about me.
Okay.
Uh, listen, it's going down. It's going
And
down.
this is the second time involved in this type of situation with that officer. So he had a problem with the bald head big officer, Missy. Was it
Was
that?
it? Because I know that officer. Y'all got me ready, really to
Have this
what?
conversation because I've been through it. Yeah,
I
but
know
that's hello.
he's that's my little cousin. He's been doing too, and he
Oh, come
started
on,
his
keep
bid.
comic book. Let's have this conversation.
He started
Um,
his bid when I was doing mine, and he's younger than me, so I know he's done seen even more crazy stuff. And not only that, his wasn't even in New York State. New York State is a beautiful. Don't take this the wrong way, but if I'm gonna be locked up, I'm
you
gonna be
rather be
locked
locked
up
up in New
in
York?
New York State. No, 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 no. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be locked up in New York State. No, I'm not gonna. No, Florida, no, Pennsylvania, none of that shit. If I'm gonna do time, believe it or not, New York State treats their inmates pretty all right compared to these other places.
Well,
But go ahead. You reading some
I-
more?
no, I'm trying to find more. I'm like now yo, I didn't know he killed her.
That's somebody's niece. That's somebody's daughter. That's somebody's
Yeah,
cousin. So
yeah.
now, if I'm
It doesn't
working in
even
the
say how
spot, what
old
you
he
think
was.
is up? What do you think? Like this is what being a human is. Some people don't have that on and off switch to say, "Yo, I'm just gonna let the system take its course and do what it's got to do." Some people will say, "Oh yeah, all right, we'll see him when he gets here." And guess what happens? He gets here, and guess what? The brother-in-law is the sergeant, the watch commander. Her cousin,
Mhm.
her five cousins work A, B, and C and D block. Guess what? Her little cousin is the civilian aide in the mess hall. Her brother-in-law is the guy at the fence who lets everybody in or not.
I mean,
Like
I,
we don't
I,
know what's going
you know,
on.
and you know what? I can honest to God right now say, um, if I never had watched the video, if I didn't see the video, right, I would have been outraged. Which it's because I saw it. Like that's the thing. I think because I saw what happened to him. Um, I didn't see what happened. It doesn't show her age, but I can guarantee you her family is gonna come out. Her family is gonna come out. Um,
He
you
took a
don't know
plea
how.
bill so he wouldn't have the murder two charge.
Yeah. So he took a life and had his life. It's
Now,
because I saw it, I think it affects me more. Because if I had not seen it and found out this, I would have been like, well, that's karma. Well, it just unfortunately the world watched his karma.
I mean, it
But
stinks because we don't know even if that's if because who are they to really like that could have been in the books for him, or it could have just been them trying to take karma, which means guess what? When you do that,
and at the end of the
you
day,
restart it all over again. Yeah,
they
yeah.
all
So
need to be locked up. Every
absolutely,
last
they
one of
need to
them.
die. No, not locked up. They need to die the same way he died.
But you know what?
I mean, that's how I feel about the situation. Well, that's what I would feel was karma. Yo, listen,
Yeah.
they need to die and feel the same pain that he felt,
Oh, shoot.
gas making his last gas for life. That's what would be karma for
So
for
it's a
me. But guess
cycle,
what's gonna happen?
cycle
But
of
guess
bad
what's gonna
karma.
happen? They're gonna go to jail.
We say that about our own family.
But do we say that about our own? Absolutely, you're supposed to. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. Yo, listen, I'm a strong believer
That's
that
I get
selective
outraged.
outrage. Uh,
Just
listen, I'm
coming for me.
I'm gonna tell you, listen, if he's my family and he violated, take his ass off the count. No, it's not. It's there's no listen, certain things there's no reason for
Right.
you even being here. You do not add nothing to humanity, the world, nothing. So why are you here? You are here because we are in a situation to where it's too barbaric to get you off the count. Like
Mhm.
what purpose do you
Some
serve? You're
people
not.
are straight. I could Missy, I could think of a couple of family members that
No, if you the dude, listen. If I have a family member that
This
is
is
out
traumatic.
there touching little kids, that's traumatizing them for the rest of their life, and you're telling me there's no cure for what he's going through. This is just something that he's going to
Oh yeah,
continue to
no, no,
do.
no, 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 no,
So
no.
what are we going to do with you then?
Yeah,
And
no,
so
you're
then
gonna
we're just
that's
going to
what
keep
we're gonna do.
locking you up. We're going to keep waiting for you.
Yeah,
We're going to keep
no,
letting you repress your feelings. We're going to wait for you to join the
no,
priesthood,
no,
and then it comes out that you
not
get.
the
I mean, this
priesthood.
is what happens. So now, guess what? Take them niggas off the count now, ASAP. You serve no purpose for the human race. None.
None.
Take them off
But
the
you know,
count.
but
Some people
they
are
have to all
vile
answer to
humans.
just God. They all have
Absolutely.
to answer to God for this. He has to, and you know what? Great, great question. I think she's talking about like with our own family. When he closed his eyes for the last time, it was his judgment.
Well, listen.
And
For
he has to answer for what he did to that girl, that woman,
absolutely, and or whatever else he done did in his life. You get what I'm
whatever
saying?
else
Like,
he did.
I mean, you listen. You beat a murder to rap. Murder, murder, monkey means you
So
had
what?
the intent. Manslaughter is when you do it accidental. Murder, there's an intent.
Right.
Then murder. And if you want to get technical, like, come on, man. Like, what are we talking about here? And I get it. It looks bad on the surface.
Yeah.
It looks
I mean, but after
disgustingly
we had this
bad.
conversation, was able to dive a little bit deeper.
I mean, but
Um,
that's what the conversation should be. It shouldn't
that's what the
just be one
conversation.
sided to where you oh no these absolutely yo listen.
No, but
I don't want
no, they
people.
are a bunch of Klansmen in uniform. I don't
You
change my
listen, and
stance on that. I saw their
you
faces.
know what?
I saw their faces.
They should be killed the same way that they. So you are saying that inmates can't change because you did right? No, I'm not saying that inmates
No.
can't change.
Yeah, no,
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 what
yeah,
I'm
no,
saying
no, no.
is no, absolutely inmates can change because I damn
Absolutely.
sure change, and I
But
know,
you know
and
what?
I
You have to want to change. There are inmates that get locked up and go through the experience and do years and be like, yo, I ain't never going back. I am never, or some people not even do years, do a couple of hours. Hello, we ain't naming names, do a couple of hours and be like, no, I'm done. That's never going to happen. But then you have some people that are so institutionalized because not just from being incarcerated, because we don't know what their lives were like growing up. What it all goes back to that. So those people that were locked up and continue repeat offenders, whatever. Some people get out and intentionally go back because they feel safer.
you know who changed while he was in prison?
Who
Son of Sam.
use ex-cons can change. Wait, use ex-con can change, but the penitentiary
Us
not.
ex cons. He's saying us because he's an ex con.
Okay, yeah,
But
no,
they're not. Yeah, you got to do it for yourself. But
yeah,
think about it.
not that. It's
Think
not.
about it. Did you hear what I
People
just
are
said?
knocked up. They go there. They get their degrees. Not even get their
Listen,
degrees. They read books. They have conversations. They reflect back on the crime that they committed. See, hello, you got to be remorseful for what you did. Also, you can't just
listen,
be locked up and be like, "Yo, the man did it to me." No, sir.
listen.
No, madam. You
There's a
did this.
whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of people that changed it. Like I said, Son of Sam was an ordained minister by the time he died.
Yeah, but
He
he's still.
killed how many?
Yeah, he's still
No, no,
locked
but yeah. So now, would it be hard for an
up.
officer to get transferred to where he was at, and then to stick him in the side with a something because one of the people that he killed was his great aunt, and
That'd
he
be
just
easy
had.
to do. That
You
would be
get what
so.
I'm saying? So yeah, no, people can absolutely change. That doesn't stop the karma from happening. The karma, for the karma to happen, it has to have a start.
Yeah,
It
karma
has
is
to have a start. So
yeah.
now if you murdered this girl and we don't even know what the situation with that
You
could
don't
have been.
even know what happened. Like that's the
What
thing.
happened? We
And
just know that he was convicted of assault too because
yeah,
he copped out from the murder charge, which probably would have gave him more than 17 or 12 years. It's like I said, the whole system is wild, and I'm glad that we had the conversation
I'm
because
glad that we
now
had the conversation because
now now we can start looking at solutions.
if we are talking about karma, who are we to say that this man would not have come out reform? We don't,
We don't know.
but
We
you know
don't
what?
know.
But we but we also don't know what happened. And now my heart breaks for her family because they're watching an
And they
outpouring
have
of
to of
rage
for this guy.
for this guy who took away their loved one. It's a horrible, horrible cycle. Violence begets violence. That's all it does. You kill my
Sometimes,
dog, I'm killing your cats. Like that's how it
Bunky.
happens. And it's just
Sometimes you gotta chose violence, Bunky. I'm just messing with you, but me, listen. I'm glad that the world is not like me
oh,
because
we
I'm.
are doing a follow-up when we get more
Oh
information on
no,
this.
absolutely. Not only that, we can bring some. We can also bring some other guys who've worked on either side, whether it's been a corrections officer.
What time? I'm loving this tea. This, it's coming back around, Dominic,
Yeah,
isn't it?
nah,
Because
Dominic, you already know.
I
But
need to know who
no,
she
we
was.
need to have this conversation. Not only
Yeah.
that, not just for that situation, but we need to know what's going on in our facilities because we're in an area where there's facilities going on. If you think this shit is just happening in Oneida, please think again. That shit is happening in Woodburn.
It was
It's
just
happening.
exposed because of the cameras. That's it.
Yeah, but it's happening. So just
Hey,
because it's just it's exposed now doesn't mean that it's not happening. We got to figure out.
tell your cousin then he need to just come on the show and we can have a whole conversation.
Yeah, he can come on the show. He's
I
been
know, like you
listen.
say, you got a lot to say. And I
Yeah,
want to have
nah, he's. I mean, it's dope, and like I said, let's bring in some officers so that we have a clear
but you know
understanding.
what,
We're not freestyling. We're actually
but
talking to people who do the job. We're inside. You
right,
know,
yeah, now we
when
just
you have it,
freestyle.
yeah. When you have, well, I was inside, so I literally seen all of this, and by the grace of God, I can say that I've never been stomped out by
It's happening
police.
everywhere.
It is. It's happening right now. It's
It's happening.
happening right now. It's happening right now. There's a situation where the officer was throwing away food, people's food out of the refrigerator, right? And it was all because somebody didn't want to be quiet. So he said, "You know what? I'm gonna go to the refrigerator, and who's ever bag that's in the refrigerator who doesn't have their name, their bed location, and their ID number on them, I'm throwing it away in the garbage." So imagine somebody walking into your house because this is where you live, this is where you're at for a couple, whatever your stay is, and they just go in your refrigerator and start throwing the stuff that you bought with the money that your family sent to you while you're incarcerated, and just start throwing it away.
And
The
that's
guys,
a bad
hold on.
omen.
No,
That's a
no, no.
bad
Listen, what I'm gonna try to tell you though. The guy tells that yo, they in there throwing away our food. Okay, the dorm gets up. There's 60 people riled up. There's only 2 officers to a dorm. Officer says, "Yo, sergeant, you got to come down here." They bring the van. Here's the Goonie Goons, the Goon Squad.
the
They come in. So
special
now,
agents.
listen, we're on a show off in the day room, right? It's about 12 officers, about 60 inmates. All right, what's going on? Everybody's talking. Yo, the officer's throwing our food away. All right. Calm down, calm down, calm down. Who wants to be the spokesperson? So the guy who had the beef with the officer raised his hand and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna tell you whatever you want to tell you." All right, bet. Come outside. We're gonna talk outside. We don't need to talk in front of everybody else. We talk outside.
Okay.
Everybody else, listen, Bunky, I ain't seen him for 2 weeks after that.
Or they beat him down and put him in a hole.
Absolutely. What do you think is gonna happen? You're not gonna disrupt. You're not gonna disrupt what we got going on. And you know what happened? The officer politely took everything up out of the garbage because he didn't put it in the garbage. He put it in a separate bag because they're not gonna throw away food. You know what they're gonna do with that bag? They're gonna take it to the CO lounge, and the COs are gonna snap. Yeah, no, this is what they do. So they said, okay,
Change
this
that.
is
A better criminal. Oh yeah, or a better criminal.
or you may think that you become a better criminal because that's what a lot of people think. They believe that all right, now I'm gonna do it smarter because I've learned around some smarter criminals. I thought like that at one point in time. Like, I figured it out. I'm just not gonna do robberies. It's like, okay, the dumbest shit ever. But in that criminal, that's because they're not rehabilitating you. That's
No.
because when I went to the Department of Corrections, they weren't trying to correct none of the departments. They weren't trying to get me mentally ready. They weren't trying to get me emotionally ready. You get what
Right.
I'm saying? They give you
Yeah.
3 weeks. It's called phase 3. They give you 2 weeks to help you skim through the how to write a resume on a typewriter. Who uses typewriters? You get what I'm saying? Like
Right. I love me a good typewriter.
well, listen, go to jail. They got a bunch of
No, thank you. I'm not about that life.
they
Not,
got a bunch of them for you. But
not
this is
about
what I'm trying to say. Like they literally set you up for failure. The only
right.
reason why I didn't return it was because I got tired of being locked up. I got tired of wasting my time. I got tired of taking orders from somebody that didn't have the brain capacity to tie my sneaker. Like the only thing you do is count. Make sure that there's 60 people here when I start my shift. There better be
Mhm.
60 people here when I leave my shift. That's all you
Right.
got to do, and make
Right.
sure nobody dies. That's it. That's
Well, we
it.
know that's not what happened on December 9th.
Well, that's the extra curriculum. Those are
Yeah,
the
that's
guys who you know what happened. I guarantee you, because this is the mentality of guys who work in places like that. They have their mental capacity is so bad. Jesse could probably contest to this.
not
So
all of them. You know about the
no,
correctional
a
officers?
lot of them. No, yeah, a lot. You think about it. How many corrections officers do you know that are divorced? They met the bunkie. You do 25 years.
My father didn't get divorced.
Okay, but all right. That ask him about his co-workers.
But that's not just
They
correct.
go
That's police officers also.
okay, but they either way
Divorce
they're
that's
bringing
from
in the
police officers.
baggage.
Right.
Either way they're bringing in their baggage to
They
start
are,
their
they are.
day. They're
And
not
that's
getting.
why it's very important for people that work in those fields to see a therapist. It's very important so that they can not bring home all of the garbage and junk that they dealt with or seen. It's no, Shad. It's very, very important.
How about not bring it to where I live? Because I'm in here for a duration of time.
It's violence all around you. People walking on edge, ready to commit suicide, negative energy all around you. And the only sanctuary you have is yourself for your sanity. And you know what? Like I say all the time, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I've never experienced that, but I've seen it on TV. And you hear the cries and the yells. And like it's like like hell on earth. You're locked in. There's nothing you can do. I'm claustrophobic. Okay. I can't even. I sat in the back of a police. No, I didn't even sit in the back of the police car. I was just curious what it was like in the back of a police car. I was
Okay.
just curious. And just looking at the way it's set up, my anxiety went through the roof. I was like, there's no way. And you're sitting in the police car with your hands like his hands behind your back, and you can't do anything. And then you're in a cell that's the size of my bathroom. You gotta live. No, it is torment. It's crazy. But now I want to know, what did he do? Like the
Or is there a
whole
connection? Is there a
the whole
connection? That's what I
right,
want to
the
know.
whole backstory with the girl. I want to know who she is. I want to know what their relationship was like. I now I need to know that because it's all going to start coming out. It's all going to start coming out
As it
because
should.
her family is going to get outraged. Um, is going to get outraged that, like I said, he's getting this outpouring of love, or to program yourself to death.
Well, no, what he's saying is you do mad programs. Like
Oh,
you and
always
nowadays,
busy. You're always
yeah,
busy.
but even nowadays in corrections, correction officers
Boy,
are known to have
yeah,
high divorce rates and substance and
yeah.
substance use amongst
You see,
that's what I'm trying to
this is
tell you. And then they bring that shit in.
not a normal experience for either side. Right, either side. And like I keep saying, it's not all correction officers, like not all police officers are bad. I know good ones. I thank God that if I know bad ones, I don't know they bad. How about that? They bad, I don't know they bad.
That don't stop them from being bad, Bunky.
No, that's what I said. If they, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Don't stop them. But I don't know it. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna defend and go hard for people that I know that is just out there doing all kind of craziness. I'm not gonna do that. But at the end of the day, in my mind's eye, these people, except for them devils. because I saw their face, I saw their eyes. Go to work because it's work. And living in a place like Sullivan County or whatever, like these are the only places where you can live, get those kind of jobs without like a major degree. Like you
And
still have to
listen
have a
what you're
degree, but
saying,
you can
Bunky.
survive.
But this contradicts what you and Chris was saying. Most
So
of these
no,
people
no, no,
go.
no. But no, people go in every different field for different reasons. Some people go in because they want to make a difference. Some people want to make a change. Some people go in because they were bullied as kids and now they got a badge and now they can be on a power trip. There's some people that go into these because it's the best paying job opportunity that they have and can retire. And as you said, take their kids, pay for their kids to go to college and whatever. There's different reasons why people do different things. People look, you may have correction officers that love the fight because they're miserable souls and all they want to do is go to work every day because they don't run their house, but they go to the jail and they run things because they being punked at home, so they go into work. So there are people that have that mindset. Like I
Bunky.
said, I stay
All
in
right.
my field because at the end of the day, if I'm helping one person out of 15, out of 20, that one person, it just lights up my world. Do I
Listen,
love it
Bunky,
every
and
no.
I know if your
Like I said,
job,
I don't huh?
listen, if your job didn't pay your bills, you would not be there.
My job no, that you can't even say that because I
Ah,
left the job. No, 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 no.
okay,
I left a job. My previous job paid more than this job, okay, than the job I have
okay.
now. The Lord bless me so I can pay my bills. At the end of the day, my bills is getting paid. I left the job because of racism and the treatment that I didn't feel was right. So I left that job. So I didn't leave because of dangerous situations. I
No,
left because you not talking to me anyway. You're not treating me any kind of way. That's
all
why I
right,
left.
but you didn't leave the job to go do something more fulfilling.
No, but they're like
That's
basically
my
like the
point.
same.
Like
But
people
what
aren't joining corrections to help inmates change their lives. That's
but
not even that's not how they recruit officers. That's not even in the recruiting officer like that's not what they do. They don't say, "Yo, we want to recruit you to help change some people's lives." Like,
no,
you know how they
that's
recruit teachers? You know how they recruit teachers? Hey, listen, don't you want to be that
but look,
person, that teacher that they could say, that students could say, "Yo, that teacher changed my life," or that teacher made me want to do the right thing. They don't pitch that for corrections. They tell you, "Yo, listen, don't trust none of them. They're all the same. They all your main thing for you to do is to
I'm just
return
educated.
home. No, 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 no. It's to return home
Right
the
to your
same way
family.
that you. It's not about making sure that they learn the lesson that they need to learn for the day.
But like Jesse said, which is 100% true, because I had this conversation. What these devils did was now they put a bullseye on those good officers or whatever, even if you're lukewarm. Now there's a bullseye on their backs. Just like with the George Floyd thing, there was a big bullseye on all officers' back because of Scholler, whatever that devil's name was. So
Chauvin.
because of that, these Klansmen put everybody else in jeopardy. They put everybody else in jeopardy. And unfortunately, it's because of this guy, which I'm so glad we had this conversation because now I'm looking at the whole thing. Some eyes I work with can run Fortune 500 companies, just didn't get a break. Because you saw he worked in the prison, like talking about the
That
yeah,
doesn't mean
Robert.
that they're not bad people. That just means that they're smart. That just means that they can run Fortune 500 companies. I'm pretty sure Epstein Epstein ran a 500 Fortune company.
Okay, but we ain't talking about Epstein.
No, no,
We
I'm
ain't
just telling
talking
no,
about
no, I'm just telling you about
right.
criminals. Period.
Okay,
Just because you're smart and you can do something doesn't mean that you're a good person. Criminals are there. Most criminals can run 5 Fortune on, especially if you're in there for drugs. But those are
okay.
the same people that were
Now
selling
I'm saying
drugs
he was
to
talking about.
to pregnant people.
I'm saying he was talking about the criminals. Maybe he was talking about correction officers.
Or
You never
no, he's
know.
talking about criminals. But at the same time, this is what I'm saying. Because How many of those guys that are running Fortune 500 companies do we need if they're doing certain crimes?
Just your time said. I say karma came for him. Yeah, it's wrong how it happened. Yes, but the truth, the whole truth, never going to come out. But somebody taking that fall for murder. A lot of people need to
They
take
all
that.
taking the call. They all
I know
taking
a
it.
lot of good, a lot more good than bad officers and counselors. Unfortunately, what just happened will put a lot
Where were you at?
in harm's way. Huh?
I want to know what facilities he went to.
Who? Jess?
Jesse. I want to know what facilities he's worked at.
He worked right up here at Woodburn.
Okay.
Jess
What,
was here for years. He just moved. He's not here now.
what other ones you worked at? Because I could tell you the ones in Attica, go check the death rates of inmates that how many death inmates died up by Attica, or better yet, go up by the Wyoming County, or better yet, go by all upstate, anywhere past Albany.
Okay. So now you're talking about all the murders and stuff that happened in the prison. Goes back to these bad officers. Now, be it black or white, whatever the case may be now. These
Bad
are
officers.
bad officers.
Not only not only bad officers, Bunky, but they had other officers that might not indulge in that, but were complicit and help hide. Are you to think about it? This how many people do you think is in the shift there that knew that this guy died since December 9th and nobody said nothing? The whole fucking jail knew. Excuse my language. The whole jail knew and nobody said nothing.
I've been to Attica, Auburn,
And you're
Clinton.
telling me, all right, let's go through them. Hold on, let's go through them. You're telling me there's more good officers in Attica than bad officers? Because I've been to Attica.
He knows both good and bad.
I thought you said a lot. No, he said a lot. I know a lot more good than bad. This is what I'm trying. Attica is horrible. Even the officers there don't like Attica. I was in Attica. I was in Clinton. I was in Auburn. Yeah, dude.
That's why
we're black. Yeah. Are you kidding me? He's talking about dude.
What?
You go to Attica. You
so
check out
the correction officers.
Yes.
But
yes.
Okay, so let's rewind it. These are the bad ones.
What?
We're not even talking about the inmates now. We're talking about. It started off talking about the bad correction officers. You're right. Each facility is different. Right. We're talking this whole conversation about Robert Brooks started because we were talking about those officers that took his life. We're not talking about the inmates.
No, we're all talking about officers. No, we're just talking about officers. Yo, listen, officers in Attica, why do you think they had the riot? Like this,
I don't know. I've never been to Attica.
No, but this is what I'm saying, because inmates were being treated unfair.
Right, because of the bad correction officers. Because
Bunky, it's not Bunky. It's not. Ask Jesse, how many people are usually on a shift? Because it's more than just the 3 people or the 14 people that were in the room. They all co-sign it. So it doesn't matter. I'm the sergeant. It doesn't matter whether or not I was there, I'm on the video, whatever. If I held on to the information, I'm compliant. I'm just as bad as them. Exactly. Bunky, do you know how many people this had to go by before it got out?
And
dude, you got superintendents of everything.
But there was somebody that snuck and got the information out because they couldn't. They saw what.
Yeah, and guess what? So if one person snuck and got it out, how many people knew about it? And then if that person had to sneak and get it out, that's because everybody else was compliant with it.
But kudos to the one who got it out. It took one, because if that one did not get it out, we would still not know to this day what happened.
And you know what's gonna happen?
What?
The blame rolls downhill. So guess who else is getting fired? Everybody that was on a supervising position while that was happening is out of here.
Good.
All the way from the warden,
all the way out of here.
The captain, the lieutenant, the sergeants. There's probably about 4 or 5 sergeants that was on that night. Any other officers that was around that facility? Yeah, correctional officer. Yo, cousin, I love you. Stay safe and dangerous. Bunky, we gonna vibe.
Hit me up, because we gonna gonna do this. And you know what? I pray for the safety
I pray for the
of
families.
everybody in uniform.
I pray
I
for the
really do.
families because just because they're
Both families.
these 14
I
people
mean,
were
really, hit me
scuzz
up in my
bucket.
inbox. We're gonna set up a date.
That doesn't mean I wish death to their family. I don't wish no harm to their family or anybody associated with them. I don't wish any harm to Mr. Brooks's family. And prayers and thoughts go out to the victim that was in his crime.
Right.
They're all victims. Nobody
Yeah.
can say who's right, who's wrong. Only thing
And
we can say is talk about the circumstances that led up to what it is, and then we got to come together and figure out how we going to change, how we going to stop this from happening.
you know
Like,
what? And you can't help not thinking. Well, my brain goes here. I'm sure Jesse's does too. What was his life like? This what created this monster? What
well,
created?
but no, see, we just
They
need the
tell him
backstory here because it might not even been that. It might have been one of those guys came in, or two of those guys came in and say, "Yo, we got that inner is over there. You know
no,
he's
no, no.
coming in."
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking
Oh
about Brooke.
no,
What
that's
led
what I'm talking about.
the cycle?
Yeah,
What
but
led?
it might not have even been anything with him. He could have just been. It could have just been a heat of the moment. He reacted wrong. People make mistakes. I'm not trying to say that he didn't make a mistake and kill the girl.
Oh, that was a mistake. You killed the
Yeah,
girl.
I mean he
No,
killed the
no,
girl, but I mean, yeah,
I
it
don't.
could have been a mistake. He could have blew his top. He could have came from a bad situation.
Yeah,
We
that's what I'm
don't.
saying. Like, what
Yeah,
happened?
no, but I mean,
I need to know the whole story.
yeah, we need some backstory to this. But
Yeah,
I'm so glad that you
so
convinced me
glad
to
we
come
had this
on and have this conversation
This
because
was a
this
2 hour
this
conversation.
this leads to more and better conversations. We need some cops. We need some COs. We need
Yeah.
some inmates in here. Some
I
ex
wish
cons.
I wish they would come on and have this I wish they would come on and have this conversation with me. I will get with you and we can set up a date. Yes, let's set this date up. Let's set it up. Yeah. We need more clarity. I need to understand.
Well, we
Um
need to understand so that we can start working on solutions. That's what we need. We need
it's how
solutions.
to
We
it's
know
the
these
whole
problems
system.
exist.
Break down the whole system and rebuild because that's what it sounds like to me because it's all
Well, we're
broken.
gonna have to start somewhere. I mean, listen,
It's
if
all
we don't start, then we're just gonna keep complaining. And guess what? Next month we're gonna be talking about the next one. We gotta figure this shit out, man. And not for us, for our grandchildren,
right.
their grandchildren.
But it did. I can honestly say it. That video did change me, like the George Floyd did. It's like it's just awakening feelings I don't like to feel. It really, really did. I don't like to feel this way, and but it's there because when you watch that video and you see their faces and their eyes and the laughs, and
The hatred is
you
there.
can't help you can't help but think of those pictures you see of our ancestors hanging from trees and it's a whole white mob smiling and taking pictures. You can't help but feel that. But
I hope it's just within them and not within their family. Because I would be scared to death if one of
yo,
those
it's where
guys
they
have a
learning
kid.
from. Their
Yeah, this is
friends or their families, which their
so.
friends learned it from their family. It's a whole thing.
So
And
guess
it's
what? You may have one of those officer spawns. Might be teaching your kid if you go to kid out there. They kid might be actually in class sitting next to your kid, thinking that knowing that their parent hates the color of their classmate's skin. Like it's
oh
a
no, that's
conversation
very
that need to, yeah.
that's very
We
real.
we need to have these conversations. We need to get involved. We need to figure out how to get involved to stop all this nonsense from happening. I got family members that are officers. I have my uncle. He retired from being an officer. I've linked up with other people who know.
About prison, I have been incarcerated for 30 years. Out of my 30 years, 17 years was spent in solitary confinement. I've experienced the work. How do you spend 17 years?
I didn't understand that.
Look, see, stop
See,
talking.
she trying to figure out how you spent 17 years in confinement. I tell you, right now it's kind of it's different, man. I told you, I
I'm
did 6 months.
never need to talk.
I didn't lose my mind, or maybe I did.
How
I
did you
did say some
not lose your
because I was still focused on other stuff. Listen, uh, it's mentally, it's mental. It's
minds of
you.
prison? There's so much corruption. And though there are good officers, anyone that turns a blind eye to with the bad officers are doing, yeah, they are. They're just as guilty. They're just as guilty. Um,
And it's common. It's common. It's common. It's just like, yo, listen, you see somebody smack their girlfriend up, you across the street. I ain't got
yeah,
nothing to do with that. I'm walking,
right.
I'm
That ain't
going
got
this
nothing
way.
to do with me.
Nah, you
Yeah,
complying to it because if you see it
right,
and it's in your, then you're saying it's okay. Now you're
right,
saying no, it's
right,
self preservation. I ain't got nothing to do with me. That's how
right,
they feel. Listen, my wife
right,
needs me to come home. My wife don't want me to get nothing that's gonna mess
right,
up my pension. You get what I'm
right,
saying? What they need to do is bond. This is my suggestion: bond the officers and bond the cops. That way, and you give them certain perks. You tell them,
right,
listen, you want to become a cop? You're a cop in New York State. You're a corrections officer in New York State. Guess what? You get anything from the state free, as far as health insurance, as far as college for you and your kids, all this stuff, even housing. You violate that, we take everything. Now,
right.
you know,
It's right.
little Becky that's going to
Telling
Cortland,
right,
thinking that little Becky that's going to Cortland. Now, guess what? She ain't gonna be able to go to school for free no more. I'm taking your pension and your insurance. Now you're gonna have to. Now they're gonna give a second chance to be like, yo, listen, dude, that's your beef. I
right,
don't know why you upset. My
right,
wife ain't cheating on me. You come in, you cheating on your wife. Your wife's cheating on you, and now all of a sudden you want to beat up the guy that kind of resembles. Or
right.
I've seen this one, Bunky. My wife cheated on me with a black guy, so I don't like none of the black guys. So now you have a thing because your wife and you bring this shit in. I'm in doing my time. I'm trying to get on the phone to make sure that package is coming and everything. You come in talk about, yo, get against the wall. What's wrong with you? Not knowing I resemble the guy that he done caught sneaking out the backside of his house and stuff.
That's a
Nah, it's crazy. Nah, I'm just telling you, you need to think. You need to know that it's real. Whatever
yeah,
you can think, it's happening. Trust me, it's happening. It's going down.
yeah.
But that's
You
two
know, I
hours
am
in.
so thankful. I am thankful for this conversation. It
No,
opened
we
up
had a
my
good
eyes.
time.
Hopefully now to get other people thinking. You know, my perspective on these officers have not changed. I still think they're the Klan. It's racially motivated, but something else happened. Something happened. It's going to come out. It's going to come out. All these officers and those nurses that were laughing and giggling and chuckling and laying hands on all need to be found guilty. The ones that did, especially Baldy, a couple of they need to serve a little bit more time, but they all need to be, all of them need to face charges. Um, they need
Do
to
you think they
revamp.
should be in? Do you think they should be in regular population?
Yes, Jesus, I do. Because you know what? They were walking around regular population being a bully. So you got a big mouth with the badge on. You want to be a bully with the badge on. So be out there, be a real man, and
All
face
right,
those.
so Bunky, let
Yeah.
me ask you this:
Okay.
if one of those officers
Say that
got
when you talking
got,
about entrepreneurs that are prisoners. I am one. Oh, kudos to you, Monster Your Network. Wait, what
but
happened, Scott?
Bunky, what if
Yes.
one of those officers, after they're convicted, have the same thing happen to them? How would you feel about that? If they were in a situation after
No,
being
after looking at this, after looking, no, 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 no.
after no after doing this, and some officers
Have to
said,
look
you
at
know
the
what, we got one of the guys in our jail.
at
So we're gonna
no
do exactly what he did to that inmate. How would you feel about that?
at no time as an adult, I can say that now as an adult, do I believe that it's violence against violence. Now, you're talking to someone who had the love of their life, which was my uncle, taken from me, right? Murdered. And all I wanted, he was killed. The guy was killed. Um, and I was happy about that. But I was a little kid, I was like happy about that. Um, but as an adult, at the moment, my thing is okay. You deserve what you got, but I don't ever want a family or a person to feel that void. Like I felt that way. At the end of the day, God gonna get you. Your karma's gonna get you. Whatever's coming for you is coming for you. But I don't want any parts of it. I don't want to have been one of those people that wished it on you. That would kill my conscience, knowing that I wished that on you and then it happened. Oh my God. So karma is real. At the end of the day, you got to leave it in God's hands. And that's just what it is. I am what CEO Scarilla. I don't know. Wes. They published Arthur 14 books. Okay, so then you wrote some books on your background. A movie director, an actor, and a motivational speaker, a hip hop artist. Oh snap! You got to reach out. You didn't work with the Snoop Doggy Dog.
That's what he says.
Oh, yes. Oh my. He has to be from your. He has to. You have to be viewing from being connected to in the studio with the Rec Boys. That's the only way he could have found me. That's the only way he could.
Well, listen, he's an ex-convict. We're having convict conversations in here, Bunky. Yes, you attracting the hooligans, Bunky. You're attracting the hooligans. Listen, you got to figure this one out.
Psychological exam does not necessarily rule out people who should not have this kind of authority or another individual. Same with officers on the street. Yeah, because some of the questions that they ask is stupid. And if you know how to fake a test, you know how to be if you're a good test taker, especially those psychological tests, you can pass those because they repeat the same questions. They just reword it differently. When you're taking those tests, they ask you the same type of questions, but they reword the question. See, I know I've been there. They just reword the question.
Listen, Bunky, he's Jess, I love you. I'm going to see you when you pull up. He's beating you in your head, Bunky. He's beating you in your head. Just listen, you know why? Because they don't care about the psych exam for these people to get these jobs.
Please, Mr. Monster, you got to come on the show because I really want to know your story. Because he's saying the only difference is he survived what happened. They should definitely be in regular position, but that will not happen because no matter what, they protect theirs. They do protect theirs. They do.
Now think about it. They protect theirs. That's all you need to know.
They do protect theirs, and I am still a lawyer. I still believe in following the law and doing everything you're supposed to do. Because that's just me. That's just because as we see karma is real.
I follow the Lord too. You know what the Lord said? You know what the Lord gave me? He gave me free will. So guess what?
That's what he gave me.
He gave me free will. And guess what? Listen. Yeah, so I'll meet him and we'll sit down and have a conversation about all my deeds. We're gonna figure it out. Me and the big man. Oh no,
I know your wife ready to go. I know.
Absolutely. Yeah. She
and you
checked in on me.
Thank you for joining this 2-hour conversation, which enlightened me a lot. It enlightened me a lot. I'm still outraged with what happened. Still, that's never going to change. But our next conversation about this, we'll have more information. We'll know more of this backstory.
Maybe we do one live in the rec center where we can actually have faces and we can sit down and really have some real. Because doing it like this is dope, but when you're really around in the energy and you could actually feel it and you see the sincerity.
Known.
I know they wouldn't have known, but now that we having these conversations, we'll pick a subject from this, and we can use this as some research points.
Well, Jesse will be live this summer.
Yeah, that's gonna be super dope too.
Yeah, we're gonna be live. So for those, you guys got a show tomorrow?
Bunky, what's tomorrow, Bunky?
Oh, tomorrow's New Year's.
And it's Tuesday.
I'm still. Wait! You're still in prison. So how are you on tea time in the prison? This is not 90 Day Fiance. Okay, so listen.
There you go. Listen.
I don't know how it works. I don't.
Monster, your network. Check this out. What I need to do. All right. Oh, so you getting out soon. Check this out. I need you to get everybody on your block, everybody on your tier, everybody in the mess hall. What jail you at? Now, matter of fact, don't say the jail.
No, yeah,
but listen, I need you to have the people tune in to Tea Time with Bunky every Thursday. 7 p.m. Just like we doing here. She's going to be talking about all of that stuff. Maybe these guys can get some input, Also, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. in the studio with the rec
And
boys.
you're an artist, a hip hop artist.
Yeah, nah, we got something for you. But listen, Wednesday at 7,
Yeah,
Thursday at 7. All
yeah.
right, that's
And
what
this
we need. The
Thursday,
whole jail. I need you to
Hope
go to
Alive
the
8
gym. I need you to go to the yard. Go to the yard. Put it on all the TVs. Go to the gym. Put it on all the TVs. Tell them what the J pay. Tell them yo put all of that. Make sure you get tuned in to in the studio and tea time with Bunky because
The place for all conversations are
not
happening.
only that, but we might be able to help some people who are returning. We might be able to put you in
With the
the
right
places.
services and
Yeah.
connections and right. Make
See
sure
how
they
you
have the
go?
things that they need.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
See?
we do.
Well, no, this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Instead of just talking about it and saying,
Right.
well, this is my opinion
But we
and
never
not
had
having a
anybody reach
solution.
out like this though. So
No,
shout
it's
out to
dope.
Mr. Monster, your network. We had nobody ever reach out. So how you supposed to help if you don't know what services they need? Right?
Absolutely.
So
And they need somebody, they need people on the outside to help them. It's very hard to get started when you just throwing out. If you can get a little something going, it makes the
without
transition a lot easier.
okay.
I'm just telling you from experience, so.
Okay. All right. Well,
But
thank you.
Bunky, I
I
love
real
you.
quick though. I want people to tune in Thursday because I have Domingo from Hope Alive 845, the missing persons, the founder of the missing persons.
Oh, okay, nice.
And he has reconnected a lot of families with their missing loved ones. And there have been some very unfortunate situations where he helped family members find out that their family member is no longer here. So Domingo will be on Thursday at 7 p.m. So that's going to be a good conversation. I didn't get his announcement out because this right here occupied my time. I was so.
Know what else you got to get? You got to get the guy. You got to get the guy who's recording all these predators that's in Sullivan County and putting it up on a book. We need to get him on here. Yeah, you haven't seen him? He's the guy who got I think he got somebody from
Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, there's a video of him he was supposed to meet with like a 14-year-old girl and they caught him and the dudes showed up and but he was local. And I want to get
this at? Was it on
this was on Facebook. Yeah, it was. I think it was Sullivan Uncensored. It was Sullivan Uncensored somewhere in there.
I don't deal with Sullivan Uncensored. I can't.
Well, you got it. All right. Well, I'm not going to get into that. Bunky, listen, I love you.
All right, yes, I got to let you go.
Be good.
I'll
see you in the new year.
Yes, I will stop by. I'm going to stop by. Maybe you're not going to be in the shop on the 1st, are you?
Probably not. I'll probably be here, but I probably won't be open.
No, I'm not saying not to be open. I'm saying if I drop by, I'll call first.
Yeah, just hit me. Yeah, we'll probably be here.
All right. I appreciate you.
All right, Bunk. Yo, listen. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Y'all be safe. Figure out what you're gonna do for this new year, and let's get it done. All right.
What I think everybody needs to do is be on their knees at 11:55, praying the new year in and thanking God for allowing you because it's been a traumatic 2024.
Absolutely.
That's it. So I will catch you all later. I appreciate you so much. Tea Time with Bunky. Like, share, follow, subscribe. And in the studio with the Rec Boys.
Absolutely.